So here we are with the Motomaster since 1933. Hold it here. 1933? Really? I should check on that one of these days. Wouldn't that make them, one of the first oil filters to be made? I don't know about that. Thought Pure Leader was the first. Well, let's move on. And the certified. And these are both the 3506, 3506. I'm gonna do these two. I bought them. I'm trying to do ones that are the same. So let us take these out of the packaging and take a look at them before we start cutting them up. Here's the certified, and here's the Motomaster. I know I made it look like I had to look at that to make sure it was a Motomaster, but no, it is the Motomaster. So let's look at the bottoms. Yeah, they're pretty comparable, aren't they? Very comparable. Let's look at size comparison. Yeah, they pretty well look like each other, don't they? So, I don't know what the differences will be, but we're certainly going to find out when we start getting into them. And yes, they are both definitely the same canister and same construction, except for a few things I notice. Okay, I already see a few things that are different. So I can't wait to get into these. So, you know what? I'm going to weigh these filters, and then we can see how much they weigh. There we go. Now, the Motomaster. So I'm going to there we go. In grams is 210.3. And the certified 209.7. Okay, they're pretty close. They are close right now. Oh, okay. Sorry, I forgot to do it in ounces for those who don't use ounces, or I mean grams. We'll do them in ounces too. 7.415 for the Motomaster, and for the certified 7.390. Okay, so far so good. Let me get on to cutting these apart. And I saw my camera blur out there for a second, but that's fine. But actually, let me take off the, what do you call these? The base gaskets. We're going to check these, and we're going to see if these are the same. I don't know if they are, but we're going to do those in grams because that gives me a better weight. There we go. So, Motomaster 5.2 and certified 5.1. Why is there a difference? Not a big difference, though, actually, is there? So, here we go. Turn this on. Zero it out. Thickness 4.77 millimeters. Not bad. Not bad at all. And now for the Motomaster. Let's see. 4.70 millimeters. That's not bad. Let's keep those separated so I know where they go. So what differences will we find in these filters? Well, we'll open up the Motomaster first, and I'm sure we're going to find, yeah, this one's made by Fram, and it has the cardboard ends. Oops, sorry, fiber end boards. Well, let's try the certified. I'm pretty sure I know this one's going to be made by Champ Labs because it has. Oh, it is not. Wow, it has the fiber ends. Okay, so we see these Canadian Tire and the certified still use the fiber ends. I was sure that the certified had switched over to the E-core and the metal ends. Nope, not on these particular filters. Well, that's good. Now we can actually see, though. So, what we have here is the Canadian Tire one gets a silicone anti-drainback valve. That is very nice. And the Certified gets a rubber, it seems. You know what? I want to bring in the scale so I can check these just because for my thing. And 6.4 for the silicone anti-drainback valve and 5.2 for the Certified. Wow. Oh, I see these type do not have bypass valves. That's okay. Let us look at the base plates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 inlet holes. Pretty hefty plate, I must say. 4 threads. Pretty nice, I must say. But I gotta say this one's got a 3W. This one's got a 3W. So I'm guessing they're the same plate. They look the same. Yes, they're pretty well the same. They both look the same. They both look fine. They look fine. Let us pull out the good stuff on here. Put that one on there, that one on there. And you know what? They both cut relatively very easy. So let's check the Motomaster. Let's see how thick it is. 0.32 in that spot and 0.32 in that spot. So 0.32 of a millimeter for the Canadian Tire Motomaster and 0.33 for the Certified in that spot and 0.33 in that spot. So slightly, very slightly thicker. It's not a big deal, I'm sure. So what do we have here? Well, that definitely doesn't fit on there very well, but it did cause a nice ring around here, so I'm guessing it is sealing against that fiber end board there. This one too. I got no problem with them sealing that well. I just, a lot of times don't like the fiber end boards. So this Motomaster one. So the Motomaster has a cellulose and glass blended media. So this one here, cellulose and glass. I always hate it when they get wider where they meet up, but what are you going to do? The end caps for these are pretty well identical. It's not going to matter. But you can see the difference. There is a difference in filter media between the Certified and the it's not put together very well. But one thing I noticed, the Certified has a metal strip, whereas the Motomaster, which is a little bit more expensive, has no strip. It's supposed to have better media though. And Motomaster has a 94% filtration efficiency at above 20 microns and a silicone anti-drainback valve, right? Certified has a 95% efficiency at 25 to 30 microns. So technically, does the Certified have better filtration than the Motomaster, more expensive Motomaster? I don't know. But we're looking at them, and these are actually some of the cleaner ones I've seen. A little bit of staining there, but still. These look not terrible. These will probably work. I can't say I'd use them, but they would probably work. I'd probably use them on my sister's vehicle. And now I'm going to count the pleats up to see how much we have on either. So we have 39 pleats on either filter. So both of these have 39 pleats, and you can see that there is slight difference to the filter. This one's a little lighter colored than this one. That's why. Well, the Certified is supposed to have just cellulose, and the Motomaster cellulose and glass blended. So that's the way that's going to work out. But now I'm going to have to cut off the filtration on both. And let's do that right now so we can bring out super knife. and get that done. So, cutting up the Motomaster first. It does cut pretty good, I must say. It's not terrible. Actually coming apart fine, I must say, and the tube came out, which is going to make cutting hard. But that's why I'm going to stick the tube back in there so I can actually cut it, because that makes it easier to go through. Or not, as I just cut through the end. Now, let's just cut it this way. There we go. And I dropped her on the ground. Yeah, it's giving me no help today at all on doing any of this. There is the ends. That's the bottom. This is the top. Yeah, it's not terrible. It's not great either, is it? But it's not terrible. So that's the Motomaster. There's the holy tube. I used to remember they used to have a different, bigger holes on these, and they were kind of different design. At least that's the way I always thought of it. Maybe not. Maybe this has been like this the whole time, and I do so many filters, I just forget what I'm doing. So, let me turn this over and get the certified. But first, I have to get off the steel strip, which is kind of nice to have. I gotta admit, that is nice. And then, with the help of super knife, we'll cut this filter. Glued in. They're just kind of placed in. If some glue hits them, that's fine. There we go. Thank you, super knife. Kind of the same construction, and identically, for sure. And there we go with the filtration. Now, I want to see what we got here for... Okay, so we are, and this is the certified, going to get a measurement of the filtration on it. Now, we'll see how thick it is. Let's get it right here. There we go. So there we go. 0.73 millimeter. That's not bad. Taking a look at the certified. Nice light color. I like to look at the darker ones though through the microscope. They come out better. The lighter ones reflect too much light. And now for a little darker one here. That will be the Motomaster. Let me measure this filtration. Get it right. Oh, it's about the same. Just slightly thicker. Okay. We're going with that. I wonder if they're the same length though. What do you think? Well, I'm going to go measure these and see what the length is of both of them. So the measurements we have for the Motomaster is 44.5 inches. And that was 115.5 centimeters. And the width is 2 1/8 inch or 2.5 inch. Now, it's the exact same for the certified. Exactly the same. At 44.5, 115.5 centimeters, 2 1/8 inch, or 5.5 centimeters. So amazingly, they had the cutting machine set to the same cut for either of them, even though you can see the slight difference in colors. Now, I'm sure we cannot distinguish anything by that, so we are going to have to go to the microscope. First, let me do that old rip test I do. Yeah, It's not bad. It's held together pretty good. Ooh, this one. This one feels harder to rip, but I would expect that. This is the pure cellulose, and this is supposed to have some cellulose and glass blended fiber in it. So we're going to check that out and see how true that may be. So here we go with the Motomaster first. It was not too hard to get into this, but you can see that the cellulose and, well, probably the makeup of cellulose glass this is one's supposed to be. And yeah, I'm not too sure about it. If you got to see the picture the way I do instead of through the way this is, you would see that it is a much cleaner looking picture. On camera, it doesn't look as clean or anything. And it is kind of hard to pick up on some of these lighter colors or these filters with their media because of the I don't know how to turn my light down on my microscope. I've tried many times. I don't know how to do it. I probably can't do it. It probably doesn't work that way. But here, that's the front side. We'll take a look at the back side. So this is the back side. It doesn't look too bad. You got the glass covering there and also the cellulose. This really does look very clean underneath the microscope. It's amazing how the camera doesn't pick that up the way my eyes do. But yeah, it's not too bad. Next, we'll take a look at the Certified. I honestly can't differentiate these two. Really, they both look pretty well the same, except that the Certified is a little lighter color than the Motomaster. And this is the oil coming inside. So I'll turn it around. We'll take a look at the back side. Well, on the back side, you can definitely pick up those cellulose looking fibers. And yeah, it looks like it would do a fantastic job. Both of these fillers look like they would do a good job, except for some of the other construction that makes them up. So that'll just about do it for this video. There's nothing much more I can say about these two, except the Motomaster, probably about $2 more than the Certified. And if you're going to use a Motomaster, just pick up Fram. The Motomaster is actually, at my Canadian Tire, approximately a little more expensive than the Fram filter that the ones who supply these filters. And this one, yeah, just around $5. This one about 7-ish, a little over 7, and the Fram is usually about 7-ish to 8-ish sometimes, depends on the filter. But choose and pick whichever ones you want to use. I know that some of the Motomaster and Certified are now coming out with the new Champ Labs type metal infiltration inside of them. So some of those are really nice to pick up. And well, I just hope you enjoyed the video, and please leave a like, and I'll see you at the end of the week, hopefully with a used filter to look at, or 2 or 3. I'm hoping. I haven't gotten in any yet. It's winter. No one does their oil changes in winter at home. That's crazy talk. It's like minus 25 to 30 out. Who's going to do that? Me, of course. I do. But thanks for watching. Please tune in again.